and welcome to the Great Entrepreneurs Show. I'm your host, Dr. Anthony again here on IntellectualRadio.com and iHeart Station. And we're going to be here today teaching on some things on entrepreneurship like we do on every Monday. Today we won't have a guest. We're going to do another teaching again on entrepreneurship, obviously based on one of the books I have. Let me go and read some of our sponsors that we have for the show, unknowngreatness.com. One of the events we have at Entrepreneurs Institute that we're going to have in the Chicagoland area this this spring. Well, obviously in March 9th, we're doing a network marketing showcase where we showcase about 8 to 10 network marketing companies, and they're going to actually show you how to earn some part-time income from the company and products that they actually work with. No recruiting will be done, no schemes, no scams, none of that stuff will be applicable at the event. March 23rd, we're doing an author showcase, have about 8 to 10 authors doing a presentation on a book. Every time you come to an event that I do as a showcase, the participants at the showcase will actually do a 10-minute presentation. I believe the more you hear about what people actually have to say, it gives you a little bit more in-depth information about what they're doing, what they have to sell, their business, before you make your decision whether or not you want to buy from them at that day or sometime in the future. Um, in April 13th, we're going to do a business showcase. So we have different businesses there showcasing their business. April 27th, we have a paid speaker showcase. So we have a bunch of speakers there showcasing themselves. May 4th, we have an entrepreneurship showcase, another business showcase, I should say. And May 18th, we have an author showcase again as well. Starting in April, we'll be doing every first Friday, we'll be doing an entrepreneurs workshop, an all-day workshop you're going to have with me from 9 in the morning to 6 in the evening. I'm going to feed you breakfast, feed you lunch, feed your mind, teach you how to be a better entrepreneur. Going to go over some things on entrepreneurship, branding, promoting, customer service as an entrepreneur, all those different things. And on the second Friday of every month, starting in April, we'll be doing something for real estate professionals and doing a real estate class from 9 to 6, how to work with buyers, how to work with sellers, how to build a team, how to actually work with other professionals, how to actually develop a income stream from being a real estate professional. So we got a lot of things going on. Soon, very soon, I'll be adding a Sunday show to Intellectual Radio as well. Got a couple other shows that I created that I have other hosts hosting, so that just look out for that in the next few weeks also. So enough of the preliminary. Those events are being held at 4900 South Lakeshore Drive, Lakeshore Hotel, from 2 in the afternoon to 5 in the afternoon. They are free. The showcases are free for you to attend. Bring your business card. It's probably going to be about 50 to 100 people, so you can actually network with some other people also. So I've done about 3 minutes of that. So let's get on down to what we got going on today. We're going to actually talk about, again, entrepreneurship. We're going based off one of the books that I have, Never Get Fired Again. And this is a book to teach you how to be a successful entrepreneur. And a lot of times people are in business, but they're not successful at it. And sometimes they're not successful at it because they just don't know how to actually be involved with it. So when you focus on being an entrepreneur, and I'm going to go in that in a little bit detail too, when you focus on being in business, you are actually saying that you want to take control of your working present as well as your working future. Now, a lot of times people don't want to take control of their working present. They're ready to sit in the passenger seat and let somebody else do that for them. However, the truth of the matter is eventually you're going to have to come out here probably and be an entrepreneur. You can do it at 25, you can do it at 45, do it at 65. Just the way that things are set up, Social Security is not going to be enough for you to kind of live on. So you might have to come out here and do something as an entrepreneur. That's not a bad thing. Eventually, you're probably going to have to be out here doing that. So it's good to know how to do it, know how to do it well. One thing you must realize about being an entrepreneur is that you're always going to be constantly learning how to be better at being an entrepreneur. If you don't get focused on constantly learning how to be a better entrepreneur, then you're not going to be a better entrepreneur. So what I just kind of stated about being in the driver's seat and not being in the passenger seat, that's all about that's pretty much chapter 1 in the book, Never Get Fired Again. So, I never started. Okay, so in order to actually be a better entrepreneur, you need to understand that have to focus on being in the driver's seat in your business. Either you can be in the driver's seat or the passenger seat, but if you're in the passenger seat looking for who's driving, they may drive you off the road or may kick you out the car. So we don't want that to happen. That's why we want to focus on never get fired again, and we want to focus on if you hire your own boss. You probably, if you hire yourself, you'll never fire yourself. Other people may fire you, but you'll never fire you if you work for yourself, right? And really, you don't work for yourself. But I get into that a little bit more too. So we're gonna go through the book, Never Get Fired Again, in a little bit more detail, and so we can get a little bit focused. So in lesson two, I have a thing called out is in. A lot of times, it's not probably a week to go by someone that doesn't call me or consult with me and say, hey, I lost my job, I got laid off or whatever it may be, right? And it's not like they got laid off or they lost it like something was wrong with them. It's just the way things are. I mean, the job market when in 1989, when that Berlin Wall went down, then the internet came out, and then we had a whole new world. We had a global economy. So you working against people in other countries that's being paid much less than what you're doing. So it's a shrinking market, right? Even though it's a global market. So obviously you're gonna have to do something on your own. So your out is your indoor, right? They may put you out their company, but they might have put you in business and you don't know it. So you have to realize that even though it might be a tough time that you got put out of a company, whether it's been a merger, you got laid off, maybe they force you out, maybe you're making too much money at the company. Say, hey, we want to get rid of your income, so we're forcing you out so we can hire three more people at your same pay scale. So those things do happen. So realize, like I have in chapter two, your out is your in. And one of the best things you do is be in business, right? So that's what I have in chapter two in the book. And I'm gonna kind of go through the whole book at least as much as I can, uh, and try to share some things with you. Now, one thing that I realize when people are working a job, one thing that they do if they want a new job or they don't have a job already, they put together this thing called a resume. Some people say if you take that hyphen off, it's called resume, right? So that means they resume working for somebody else, right? So when you have a resume, what the purpose of a resume is to sell some stranger on you. Hey, I'm a good worker. I'm very qualified. I do all these. I come early, stay late, and you put this resume together. Nothing wrong with putting a resume together. So, what the purpose of a resume is to help you sell you to someone else. Nothing wrong with that. However, the problem with a lot of people when they become an entrepreneur, they never sell themselves to themselves. They're not sold on themselves that they are equipped to handle this thing called being a business person. So since they're not sold on themselves, they do a very poor job of convincing themselves that they can drive their own car or put themselves in a position that they'll never get fired again because they're not sold on them. Now, see, it's interesting because as we were growing up, people teach us how to sell ourselves to other people. Hey, get a good job, get a good education, all these things. Make sure you go there and look presentable when you go there, and make sure you speak real well, make sure you use good diction and all those good things. And the reason why they say that so you can sell yourself, right? And you might go on one, two, three interviews based on the type of company. But how often do you sell you on you? See, a lot of people say, man, I don't know if I can earn any money in business. And I always tell people when we do some things, write down a few things that you know how to do. You know how to cut the grass? Okay, fine. You know how to paint a house? And write these things down. And you'll discover that it's a lot of things you can do. And then put a dollar amount by that thing of cutting the grass or whatever you do, right? You can do nails or you can do hair. And put up $50, $25, $100, whatever you would charge someone to do that particular activity. And what you'll find out, you have 25, 30 different things you can do. Now, that doesn't mean you want to do those things as an occupation, but it's about three or four or five things in there that you can do. And you can charge someone $100, $200, $50, whatever it may be for doing those things. You might love to keep children. Well, you may say, I want to get into the child care business, right? Now, how much would you charge your cousin, friend, or whatever to watch their baby? You say, well, I charge them $200 a week. Well, what's the difference with charging somebody five other people $200 a week and earn $1,000 a week from that process? Well, that's the same thing it is when you actually look at selling yourself to yourself. You need to look at your skill set and then start selling your skills because that's what a company does. A company sells your skills to other people. Well, that's not anything wrong. They pay you a certain amount to sell your skills to other people. Well, you can sell your own skills to other people. The good thing about it is you don't need to come up sell your skills to 1,000 people or 50,000 people like your company may have to do. You can sell your skills to enough people to actually make a good living. See, the objective of being in business, you want to try to get up to a place where you're making $200 a day, right? And that now obviously this will change in the future. You need to earn more, but if you need to get to a minimum of earning $200 a day, $200 a day, Monday through Friday is $1,000 a week. $1,000 a week times 50 weeks. Take a couple weeks off. That's $50,000 a year. Now that's not a fortune, right? But you got to get good at getting up to a $200 a day. Now you may say right now I'm at $25 a day. That's fine. You just build on that until you get up to $200 a day, because that's when you can start really driving your own car. It's kind of hard to drive your own car when you only made, $50 a week. That's hard to drive your own car and say I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life, right? The retail store went out because they can pay you more than $100 a week, right? Because of the fact that your business is not producing that much. So you have to sell you on you. And when you sell you on you, it's not that so much that you're selling yourself to other people. What you're doing, you're selling your skill set to other people. See, a lot of times people can have the same title, but you can't confuse the same title with skill sets. See, a lot of times people say, well, that's one doctor and that's one another doctor. Well, one doctor just became a doctor yesterday, and another doctor been doing open heart surgery for 20 years. They have the title of doctor, but they don't have the same skill set as doctors. Well, you have to realize you have a certain skill set. Maybe you've been working in human resources for so long at a company. Maybe you've been a secretary or assistant for so long at a company. Maybe you actually been a manager or something like that for a company, a trainer. Well, those are skill sets that you can sell out here in the real world, right? Because everybody don't have what your company has, right? But you have what you have. See, you can leave your company and still have your skills, right? If you leave your company don't have your skill set anymore because you left. But if you still have the skill set, even though you left, now you may say, I don't want to do the work that I'm doing, man. It's what I'm doing at this job. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to open up a bakery because I love to cook. Well, same thing still applies. You can still cook cakes and cookies or whatever you do, and you can sell those cakes and cookies to actually other people. Now, keep this in mind. I did say that you have to be very good at keeping up with what's going on, meaning you have to keep learning about being in business. So what that makes you, once you get good at being in business, you become an entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur is really taking a business concept from its embryo state. What do I mean by that? From the inception of an idea, you're taking this concept of a business, and then you actually doing your part to make that business grow. Now, does this business grow overnight? No, it doesn't. It grows over time. So if you don't want to put the time in, it's going to be hard for the business to grow. You can't expect to start something on Monday and then by Friday, how come I'm not a millionaire yet? How come I don't have, earning $1,000 an hour? Because it takes time for it to grow. Because your income or your skill sets will actually match your income. But here's what I'm saying. The more you learn, the more you put yourself in the position to earn. You can't earn any more than what you earn if you don't learn any more than what you know. So you have to learn more now so you can earn more later. So this is what happens to a lot of people that come in business, right? They say, yeah, well, I'm not learning anymore. I was a manager at my job for 10 years. That's wonderful. But being a manager on your job for 10 years is totally different than being a manager out here at your own business and you only been doing your business for 10 days. See, you can't just tell people what to do because delegation costs dollars out here in the real world. See, in your job, that person had to work the job. So they had to listen to you delegate to them because you were the manager. You told them what to do. They needed the job. You were delegating people on somebody else's dime. But when you become out here as an entrepreneur, you trying to tell people what to do, that costs money, right? So you have to learn how to do those things. So this is why a lot of people say, well, so much I have to do. I'm looking for not doing as much as I need to do. When you in business, you got to do a whole lot. You become the CEO, you the janitor, you the secretary, you the assistant, you the plumber, you everything, right? You do all the work. You the marketing director, you the customer service rep, you everybody, right? Because you can't afford normally when you start a business to go out there and pay someone to do these things for you. Secondly, the reason why you need to know how to do these things when you do get to the place where you can hire someone, you know exactly what it takes to do that particular job. Why? Because you've done it before. But see, this is what happens to a lot of people. They never done the job before. They trying to hire people to do a job, then they try to undercut them on their skill sets that they have, or they don't know how long it takes to do a job, so the people take advantage of them. An hour job they take 6 hours to do, but you don't know it takes 6 hours to do because you've never done the job before. Now it's good to have help. Now don't get me wrong, but again, getting help and delegating costs you money. And if you don't have any money when you first start, you can't afford to pay something that you don't have, right? So that's why you need to understand as being an entrepreneur, you have to do those type of things. Now it's a term in being an entrepreneur that people use a lot, and they would say small business. Now, people that followed me and been to some of my classes or workshops, anything like that, even read some of my books, know that that's a term that just does something to me. I just can't stand the term small business, because there's nothing small about being in business, nothing at all, right? But see, because so people don't know what small business mean. It's really just something for tax purposes. It's about employees. A large company has more employees than a small company, and it's really just for tax purposes. So I always share with people: do not ever call your business small. Never ever. Because there's nothing small about business. I don't care if you have a candy store, a lemonade stand. I don't care if you own a car lot or whatever it may be. There's nothing small about it, because every day you in business, here's the reality. It costs you money. Now you tell me if that's small. I don't care if it costs you $20 a day or $20 an hour or $20 a minute. It costs money to be in business. So there's nothing small about that. So if there's nothing small about it, take the small off your business, because if you look at your business as small, here's the reality. The people in the public will look at your business 10 times smaller than you do. And they're treated that way because you're looking at it small. That's why you have to look at it big, because people in the public will look at it 10 times bigger than you do. Because the reality is business is big. Now, if you spent your last $100 trying to do something in your business, someone across the street or someone at work a job may say, well, it's only $100. That's not anything. Man, it was my last $100 when I'm doing this thing. It's my last $100 to buy the cookie dough for this bakery. It's my last $100 trying to buy the paper for my printer. That was my last $100, right? So when people look at it that way, when you look at it that way, everything is big. You're taking it a little bit more seriously about what you're doing in business and how well you're doing in business. And if you don't, then you start saying, oh, well, why do you think people buy business cards probably at a small, like, business cards cost $10? Well, you say, hey, it's only $10. Why don't they spend $100 for the business cards? Because everything in business is big, and you trying to cut your expenses as much as you possibly can, as often as you can, so that you can increase your profit margin, meaning what things cost you and what you bring in, just like you do on a check. You get your gross amount and your net amount. See, in business, same thing. What you spend is your expenses. What you gross is what you gross, and you take the number in between the two, and that's your profit. Well, see, you trying to buy $10 cards because you're trying not to buy $20 cards. To someone outside that don't understand business, they don't understand that business is big, and that $10 mean a whole lot. May not mean a lot to some other people, but it mean a lot to you. So that's something that you want to think about. Now, here's something else, right? Um, in business, like when you work a job, for instance, you may work in a certain department, right? You may say, I work in this department, and then we do our work and we pass it over to the other department. But when you work a job, you have these departments that you have, and you have all these different departments that you must maintain and look over. So, for instance, I like to look at the departments that you have and equate it to the human body, right? And I say that you have legs and you have feet, right? And your legs and feet are your sales and marketing department. See, you are in charge of your sales and you are in charge of your marketing. So here's something you must realize. If you don't make sales, your business will fail. You look at a failing business, I tell you, a failing business is a business that don't make sales. So every day you have to go out there and try to make sales in your business. If not, your business will fail for that day. If a business failed on Monday and you do the same thing on Tuesday, then the business is going to fail 2 days in a row. Then you do the same thing 3 days in a row because you're not making sales. So you have to make sales to prevent your business from failing. If you don't, then you're going to find yourself in a world of trouble. But you can't make sales if you don't market the business. You have to market and promote the business in order so you can sell things from the business. So see, this is why these are your legs and your feet. See, if you don't have any feet, you can't stand up, right? Well, same thing. If you don't have any sales, your business can't stand up. It won't stand without feet, right? Well, you got legs connected to feet. If you don't have legs have a connotation of how fast you can move. You can walk, you can run, or whatever, right? Well, if you don't have any promotion or marketing being done for your business, then your business is not moving very much. So even though you may be just standing still because you're not moving, right? Well, then you have other parts of your business, right? You have research and development. That's part of your business. That's what I call the eyes and ears. Research, you got to see things, right? And see what things are going with your business. What's the trends or whatever's happening in the business? Do you sell more in the wintertime than you do in the summertime? Do you sell more in the summertime than you do in the wintertime? When are more people out buying your things? You're researching and developing. How can you make it better? How can you make it last longer? How can you make it bigger, smaller, whatever it may be, right? Because you're researching and developing. Those are eyes and ears. You listen to what customers are saying about your business. But then at the same time, you got your hands and arms, right? Your hands and arms. Hands is how you grab things, and arms is how you can hug things, right? Well, see, that's your customer service and your business services, right? You have a business supplier. You have customer service. See, people say, well, I see this all the time. They're terrible at customer service, right? But then if you terrible at customer service, what goods are going out promoting, getting the customer, trying to make a sale, but then you don't service the people, right? See, this is why all these things need to be learned, right? You may say, well, I work for a customer service. I work for the phone company and I was in customer service. That's a little bit different than working for your own business being customer service. So you have to do a little few things differently than you do. But then you have the brain, right? The brain is like the knowledge base of the business, right? The educational piece. I tell every person that consult with me and have me coach them about their business, I say, listen, you got to have you a training day, right? Every first Friday, every second Wednesday, whatever it is for your company. Because when you work for a company, a big company, they have training days every month. Hey, everybody come down, learn how to use this new program. Did you get trained on this certain thing? You get trained on this particular piece of equipment. Well, when people become entrepreneurs, for some reason, they don't think they need a training day for their business. A training day is your educational day. You may go to some seminars, you may go to some workshops, you may look at a video or something that you need to look at. It's going to be 2 or 3 hours. That's a training day for you. But you got to have about 10 or 12 training days a year. Now, the average person in business don't have training days. They don't learn any more than what they learn. And so then they keep wondering, I don't know why I can't catch up, because you don't know enough to catch up. You don't know enough to catch up, nor do you know enough to get ahead, because you're not learning enough to catch up and you're not learning enough to get ahead. So those are the things that you have to, some of the departments that you have in a business that you need to tend to for your business in order for your business to run and function properly. Now, with all those said, something that you need to look at. I was doing a coaching earlier day with someone out in another state, and I was sharing with them that the moment you stop looking for more customers is the moment you're gonna start looking for a job. See, I walked down that street before. Well, when you stop looking for more customers, you're gonna start looking for a job. And nothing wrong with looking for a job, but if you're in business, your job is not to look for a job. Your job is to look for customers. The more you look for customers, it will prevent you from looking for a job, because your job is to look for customers. I share with people every month, you should pick up 20 new people that didn't know you at the beginning of the month. By the end of the month, I should say, how many people that didn't know you the first of the month knew you on the last day of the month? And most people say, well, nobody, I didn't meet anybody new. Well, how are you going to have a sustaining business if you're not meeting new people? The truth of the matter is, the old people that you know, the people you know, they can't buy from you every day. They can't buy from you every week. They only have so much money to purchase from you. They got other things in their life they need to purchase too, besides purchasing things from you. So that means that you have to always seek out more people every month. This is why it's important to go to networking events, right? This is why it's important to converse with other people in the industry and other industries as well. Why? So that you can meet new people. Now, the truth of the matter is, if you meet someone today, chances are they're not going to buy from you today because they met you. They may not buy from you for 6 months from now. 85, 90% of the business that I get comes because of follow up. It's triggered because of some follow up. I'm not working with this year's people this year per se. I just met them this year, right? They don't know me. They don't, we just met yesterday. They're not just going to write me a check or send me that, pay something on a credit card because they just met me today. Well, if 85 to 90% of the people I'm dealing with is based on follow up, I'm dealing with people that I met last year, the year before that. Because one of the things you want to get good at doing is building relationships with people. People meeting you today, you don't build a relationship with them tomorrow. It takes time to build a relationship with people. It's going to take you some months. So people you're meeting with this year, really, to be honest with you, most of those people are going to be for next year and the year after. Now, see, some people say, man, I don't have time to be waiting the next year to make some money. I understand that. But here's the reality. Very few people, I should say, is going to meet you today. You sell cars. They're not going to bump into you today and say, here's my social security number, man. See, can I get a loan? Now, some people may need a car like that, right? But some people need to, they need to figure you out. They don't know if you honest, Abe, or they don't know who you are. You might be a kind person. They don't know that. So they're trying to get to learn you and know about your system, right? Because they're looking in their budget. They may not have what you offering in their budget right now. They may need a couple of more paychecks. So those things may be applied. So you're going to have to learn how to build relationships. For instance, like if you come to one of my events, or even if you don't come to one of my events, and then obviously I try to make sure everyone gets your card at my event. Why? Because every business that's a business hit this thing called a brick wall. And what do I mean by that? A brick wall is I done tapped out of all my family and friends that know about me and what I do. Now, some people may know more people than you, right? You may say, I only know 100 people, but that person over there know 1,000 people. He or she still is going to get to that brick wall. They just it may take them a little bit longer to get to the 1,000 people and hit that brick wall, but they're going to hit it. So once you hit your brick wall, you have to know how to go beyond that. If you don't know how to go beyond that, then it's going to be pretty hard to earn money after that. Because again, your family and friends, you open up your barbecue restaurant, they can't be at your barbecue restaurant every night buying barbecue. I know that's your family and friends. I know they love you and they want to support you. But there's only so much barbecue they can eat. You understand what I'm saying? And they're gonna always get the shortest one. Give me the little bitty rib tip special, right? Because they can't be in there every night. They want to eat something else besides what you serving. So that means you're gonna have to get beyond that. This is why it's important to network with people. Now, when you network with people, what you're trying to do is get involved with another industry that you can help, and also that they can help you, right? So this is what happened with people when they network. They try to network with people and try to sell people that they network to. So it's a statement that said a lot. If you're not networking, you're not working. And that has some validity. If you're not networking, you might not be working. However, networking does not mean just to push your card in my face and tell me what you do, right? Now I'm big on getting cards, right? I get your card, but I'm big on following up because I'm not trying to sell you when I meet you. I listen to what you tell me, but I'm not trying to sell you on what I have. I'm going to build a relationship with you for the next 6 months, year, 2 years, 3 years. Again, I told you 85-90% of the business that I actually acquire comes from people I talked to last year, a year ago, 5 years ago, 3 years ago, because I built relationships with these people for so many years that I'm able to actually tap into that, what is called database. Now, I call a database a data bank. You can't make withdrawals unless you make deposits, right? So if you're meeting people today, they become part of your deposit, right? You want to make a withdrawal maybe in 6 months, a year, 5 years, right? Because when you first meet a person, again, they may not need what you want. Like if I meet a person today that's in business and say, hey, got this book for sale, never get fired again. Right now, they may not be ready for that, right? They may not want to read a book, right? They may say, I got a book like that already. And that's okay. 3 months from now, I say I got a book on promoting. They say, hey, man, that's cool, but I don't want to promote. 3 months from now, I say, hey, man, I got a book on branding. They say, that's cool, but I don't want to brand. Now I said, 3 months from now, I say, I got a book on being in a healthy relationship. They said, man, that's what I need right there. Now, even though I didn't know they needed it, I'm just letting them know that I have it available. But I had to build a relationship with them to say, oh yeah, you the book guy. Oh yeah, you the training guy. Oh yeah, you that guy to actually do all those different things and encouraging people to actually get in business. So I want to get in business. So teach me how to do those things. So those things that you need to know in regards to some of the things you need to be in business. So you need to actually build what I call a BOSS system, right? It's an acronym for me, BOSS. And what it means is Business Operating System Simplified. In other words, you need a simple system to operate your business. If you don't have a simple system to operate your business, then it's going to be hard for you to do business well. So that means you got to have a simple system to operate your sales department, a simple system to operate your research and development departments, a simple system to operate your customer service, your education, and all these different things, right? You need a simple system to operate these particular areas. Well, guess how you learn how to do those? Because keep in mind, you worked a job for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. You only worked in one or two departments. You didn't work in all the departments at your company. Well, when you come over here and be an entrepreneur, you have to work in all these departments. So you need a simple system on operating your business in that department. The better you make the system simple, the better off you're going to be with your boss. So everybody have a boss in business. So people ask me all the time, I want to work for myself. I say, here, the truth of the matter is when you become an entrepreneur, you don't really work for yourself. Who you work for are all these customers you have. If you can't handle one boss on the job, you can't handle 25 customers. Because see, they all want to tell you what to do, right? They all want things their way, right? So if you can't handle one person giving you instructions or giving you their desires or sharing with you what they want, how are you going to handle 5 people, 10 people, 20 people, 50 people, 100 people? You're not going to be able to handle that many people because you can't handle one on the job. So you must realize that the people that you work for are the customers. You heard me say this several times on several of my shows. Your business is in business to solve a problem. Now, if you don't know what the problem is that you're solving, how do you expect me as the customer to know that your business solved this problem? I don't know your business solved this problem. Just because you sell insurance, I don't know your business solving the problem. I mean, it's a whole lot of people that sell insurance. There's a whole lot of people that, have grocery stores. A lot of people that have a dry cleaners. A lot of people that have a car lot. I don't know that what type of problem you're solving with your business. Well, if you don't actually let me know what the problem your business is solving, how do you think I'm supposed to know? See, and then if you don't price things effectively, my job as the customer is not to set the price on your product or your service. My job as the customer is to decide whether or not I'm going to pay the price that you set on your product. Well, your job as the business person is to say, this is the price I'm setting. You can't make the decision of setting the price and paying the price. I can't make the decision as a customer of setting the price and paying the price. You have your responsibility of setting the price, and the customer has their responsibility on whether or not they're going to pay that price that you set on your product. So these are things that you have to learn how to do. A lot of people in business, they don't know how to set their prices. They don't know how to set their price. They set their prices so low, they're close to zero. And then they look at it that I'm not earning any money. Well, it's kind of hard to earn money racing to zero. I tell people all the time, they say, well, I can get whatever you sell, your services and your products, I can get it for less. I can get it for $5. I'm not trying to beat you to zero. I'm trying to get as far away as possible from zero so I can make a living. Because so you need to understand when you're making a living as a business person, your business eats first. The business always eats first. If you don't understand that, so you don't eat first and then the business. No, the business eat first, then you. Because if the business don't eat, you can't eat. If the business does eat, then you can eat. So you have to make sure that you've taken care of the business first, because the business is what can produce more income for you. So you might want to write this down. Every idea you have can produce income for you. If you have an idea, you can produce some income. If you don't have as much income as you want or need, then that means you probably need to come up with an idea to help you produce some income. Because what you're trying to do is not so much look for opportunity. What you're trying to do is create opportunity. Now, people all the time say, well, I'm looking for opportunity. I need an opportunity. And they think an opportunity is getting promoted on the job. And that's cool if that's what you think. However, I used to be in the Navy, right? And the word opportunity have this port. And when I was in the Navy, one thing we used to do is go to different ports. And every time we got to a port, one of the responsibilities of people on the ship is to actually get the supplies to put on the ship, right? So the port is where we got our supplies. That's where we got everything we needed. That's where we kind of did some repairs, right? Because that's where everything was that we needed to be able to survive in the water. So here's the thing for you. If you want security, there's security at the opportunity. In your opportunity is where your security lie. If you want more security, find you an opportunity and live in it. Sometimes you can give a person an opportunity, they don't know what to do with opportunity, they drop it and break it. So here's the thing. Either you can use an opportunity to advance in life. If not, you're probably going to try to take advantage of people to advance in life. You're going to do one or the other. So that's why you need to get good at using the opportunity, because opportunities can help you advance your life. Opportunities can help you advance your business. But if you don't get good at taking advantage of opportunities, then you're probably going to be pretty good at taking advantage of people. And we don't want to get good at taking advantage of people, because that's not good for you, nor is it good for people. Nobody wins. Well, everybody don't win when you're taking advantage of people or somebody taking advantage of you. That's why you need to get good at taking advantage of opportunities. The better you get at it, then the better you'll be at it. Now, here's something for you. There are 3 professionals I think you need to have in what I call your back pocket, right? 3 professionals I think you need to have some type of relationship with if you're going to be in business. Now, you could have more than this, and you might want to look at this a little bit different. One professional I think you should have in your back pocket is, I think you need a financial planner. If you're going to be in business, you need a financial planner. And here's why. When you work for a company, they have things set up for you, right? You can put your money in this retirement account, this type of account here, your health insurance, your life insurance, and all these different things, right? So they have that for the company. However, if you have a professional financial planner, you can get the same thing. You can set up your retirement accounts and everything with a financial planner. Now, I'm not saying somebody that just said, well, I know a lot about money. That's wonderful. But I'm talking about somebody that's what they do. They actually help you plan and help you buy products for your business or as a business person, just like you would work in a job. Another person you need to have in your back pocket, I would say, is an attorney. You need to have an attorney. in your back pocket that you can talk to and call and say, am I doing the right thing? Am I going the right direction? Oh, I didn't know that was illegal, right? Because if you do something illegal, you can't use ignorance as your reason for why you did it. You still broke the law, whether you knew about it or not. So that's one reason why it's good to get an attorney to help you set up business structures, help you set up your infrastructure. Now they cost, right? A financial plan is going to cost you some money and some time, and so would an attorney. The last person I think you need to have on your team is an accountant. You need to have you an accountant so an accountant can tell you when you're going off track and what you need to do, help you with payroll and all these different things. You said, well, it's only me. Well, you can still be on payroll and it's only you. But see, if you get a good accountant, you get you a good attorney and get you a good financial person, financial planner, you can structure all these things out. Now, you may not start that today, right? You may say, man, I just started business today. I don't have money to do all that stuff. I mean, I only have money to get my business started. That's understandable. But, the first year you say you're going to find you an accountant. I interviewed an awesome accountant on the show, and I interviewed a bunch of people on the show that's really good at what they do, right? Then the next year you might say, okay, I'm going to give me a financial plan. Then the next year you might say, okay, I'm going to give me an attorney, right? It may take you some time. Keep in mind, you don't grow businesses overnight. You just grow businesses over time. And so, the average person can't stay in business 5 years. Why? Because a lot of times they're impatient. A lot of times they jump out of their jobs prematurely, right? They should have stayed in their job a little bit longer, and they didn't. They got tired of their balls, so they heard somebody on YouTube or heard somebody somewhere like, quit your job. And they're like, I'm quitting tomorrow. And then they prematurely quit their job when they shouldn't have done it. They don't even have their business not even earned any money yet, right? They haven't even got convinced that their business can't earn them some money. So those are some things that you need to learn about. So one thing, get sold on yourself, right? If you hire yourself, you never fire yourself. You might have to start part-time, but starting part-time is not a crime, right? You starting part-time to eventually do it full-time. So that means you got to treat your business, even if you're doing it part-time, you need to treat your business as a business that eventually I am going to do this full-time. I'm going to marry my business in a while. It may be 2 or 3 years, 5 years from now, but I'm going to marry that business. Even though right now I can't afford to marry that business right now because I still need the money from my job to pay my mortgage or my rent or my car note or whatever it may be, right? So one thing you want to do, you want to get you some education. You need to get around a good mentor. You need to get you a business mentor. You need to get you some business coaches, right? Because it's kind of hard to get to the next level without a coach. You need to set you some goals, right? You need to do this in little increments, right? And I know this don't sound exciting, saying, okay, my business now made $200, right? Because everybody want to quit their job, become a millionaire tomorrow. But again, I've been doing business, wow, I guess about 30 years, right? And it took me a while to get this thing going, all right? And I got to keep it going, right? Doing a business is like riding a bicycle. You got to keep pedaling this thing so you can keep this thing balanced, right? The moment you stop pedaling, you might be able to cruise for a little while, but eventually, if you don't stop pedaling that bicycle again, you're going to fall over, right? So, same thing happens with people and what we do, right? You need to ride your bike, right? You need to, keep pedaling the bike, right? You need to keep learning, keep doing some things. Why? Because the bike won't stand up and you can't keep moving this business if you stop pedaling this bike, right? Same thing in business. You got to keep pedaling. You got to keep learning how to do things. Keep looking at programs like this one. You need to keep going to things like IntellectualRadio.com, and you can see a lot of other people besides myself. I'm not the only guy on here that has some good information. It's about 50 different shows on here, and people got good information to help you in business, help you with your personal life. Because if you don't get your personal life together, your personal life will get in the way of your professional life. And see, and now you're all off track because your personal life is all whack, right? So now you have to actually find out, okay, let me learn some things. You have to be in this constant state of learning. You can never learn too much, but you can always be in trouble if you learn too little, right? So that means that you have to always be learning, right? You need to come to some of the workshops that I have. Now, obviously, if you're not in the locality where I'm local, right, in the Chicagoland area, you may be in another place. I know some people look at me and look at this thing in other states, right? Well, other countries. It's somebody that's within your reach. To get to the next level, it's always somebody within your reach to get there. So you need to learn how to become self-disciplined. You need to learn how to get to the next level. You need to realize when you get to the next level, you're gonna be a rookie. You're gonna have more questions than you have answers. You're gonna make more mistakes than you do things right. That's just the way it is when you're a rookie. Eventually, you'll get good and become a master, but it may take you 2, 3, 4, 5 years to become a master. Where you have more answers than you have questions. Where you're doing more things right than the mistakes that you're making. So you must understand that it's going to take you some time. So here's what I'm going to announce again: my events for the coming up in March. Again, I have a network marketing showcase. Come to that show. It's March 9th. Come to that showcase and you'll learn some different ways to earn some part-time income, right? You're not going to learn nothing on how to get rich overnight. So if that's what you're looking for how to get over on things, don't come there. Don't waste your time. However, if you're looking to learn see some opportunities to help you, then you want to come there. March 23rd, and that's the book, the author showcase. So come there so you can learn how to actually do that. Now I will be doing classes. Whatever event that I do in 1 month, I'll be doing a class on that, a workshop on that the following month. So for instance, I'm doing a network marketing showcase in April. I'm doing a class on network marketing. I'm doing a book author showcase. Then I'm doing a class the following month on how to write a book. So those things are things that I'm doing. So anytime you hear me doing a class or something or doing any type of actual showcase, just know the following month I'm doing actual a workshop on there, as well as my other classes on the first Fridays and all that stuff too. So let's go back over it. One, get in the driver's seat, right? Because hire yourself so you won't fire yourself. Two, realize your outdoor may be your indoor, right? Three, realize sell yourself to yourself. Realize you selling your skill sets, that your skill sets are what will get you paid. Everybody don't have your same skill sets. Four, learn how to be an entrepreneur. Learn at five, take the small off your business because ain't nothing small about business. It's all big, right? Six, learn how to develop you a simple system to operate your business, boss. Seven, realize you working for customers, not working for yourself. Eight, find you a good team, right? Learn how to deal with a financial planner, learn how to deal with an attorney, and learn how to deal with an accountant. Have those people in your back pocket so that you can actually get some things done. Seven, learn how to all the systems that you have to work, your departments, your sales and marketing, your research and development, your customer service, your business development, your education, all those different things. Make sure you have all those things together as well. I gave you a lot of information in a little time. So if you want to call in, I got a few minutes, so you can call in 708-223-8953, 708-223-8953. If you want to purchase the book, you can go to unknowngreatness.com, unknowngreatness.com. You can purchase the book. If you want to register for some of the classes, you can do those there as well. Remember that if you're in the driver's seat, the thing that you want to do, you want to make sure that you can control your working present and control your working future. Now, the best way you can have control over your working present and your working future is by being a business person, because eventually you're going to have to come out here. So here's the reality, right? And I'm going to wrap it up with this. If you work a job and you're earning $4,000 a month, we just use that for an example, and you retire, they're going to usually give you 40% of what you earned on the job. In my example, $4,000, that means you're going to make an income of $1,600 a month. Now, if you're not earning or being able to make it happen with $4,000 a month right now, you're fooling yourself thinking that you're gonna make your life happen with $1,600 a month. Why? Because you're making less money, but just because you got to 65 or retired, that don't mean gas prices went down. Inflation didn't stop being inflation just because you got to 65. So that means that you're gonna have to learn how to actually do something else, and you need to take some of your hobbies. See, one thing about being an entrepreneur, you can choose what work you like to do if you like to do it. If you don't like to do the work you're doing on your job and you're just doing it for the sake of a paycheck, okay, that's cool, I guess, if that's what you want to do. But one thing that's being about being a business person, you can do stuff you love to do, and you can do it as often as you want to do it. If you like teaching people how to dance, you can teach people how to dance. If you like painting, you can teach painting. If you like cooking, cleaning, some people really, really like cleaning. Some people just only clean because they have to clean, right? But some people really like cleaning people's houses, right? There's nothing wrong with that. That could be a business. It's a cleaning business. Some people really like cutting people's yards. Some people like me only cut it because I have to, right? But right? I don't like cutting it that much. You know what I'm saying? But some people, they really like cutting. They like putting out all those things and flowers and all that good stuff. Well, hey, if you like doing that, that can be a business for you. Now, will you have a million people probably looking for you? Probably not. But would you have enough that you can have live a life and have an income from it? Yeah. And if you get you a good accountant, you get you a good financial planner, and get you a good attorney, then you can make sure you structure your things properly, and you can earn money. Then you can hire your family if you want. You can hire your children if you want, right? And you can put them on payroll legally. Now, we're not trying to break any laws here and trying to do anything under the table. We're trying to do things all above board. But that's why you need those people working on your side. So if you're not earning enough money now, don't rush to go retire to earn less than what you're making now. That don't make good sense to me. But you want to make more money. So that's one reason why I'm doing these showcases, so you can see other opportunities where you can earn more money. Start off maybe now earn a little money, then in 5 years you're earning a lot more money. Did I say you're gonna earn a lot of money? I said a lot more money than what you probably started off with. Can you earn a lot of money? And I don't want to try to dash anybody's dreams, because that's not what I do. But I'm a realistic individual. I know how much work it takes to run a business. I know if you're starting this part time, if you're not putting in 10 hours a week on your business part time, you're not going to make much money. You're just not going to do it. I know what people tell you, all do nothing, just hit click on the internet, and you're going to make a fortune. Yeah, okay, whatever, right? But I know in real life, super producer, I tell people, I teach people real answers that work in the real world for real people. We don't have time to be no more fantasies, right? How you can do all. We need real answers that work for real people in the real world. And I know a lot of those things don't work a lot of times. So I had what time? I'm about down, right? Okay. So it's been a pleasure with y'all. You want to purchase the book? You want to come to the events? Make sure you're there. Next week, I think I have somebody I'll be interviewing. And keep in mind that great entrepreneurs aren't born; they are made. And I'll see you next time.